Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps that people like to listen to? And how do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is so very easy and simple. It is Anchor, y'all. It's Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it is 100% and ridiculously easy to use. Most of all, it is free. And now, y'all, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad here. I use Anchor for my radio broadcast as another branch to advertise and promote my episodes and my show that stems right from YouTube. And what I like about Anchor is that it distributes all to many platforms, as well as it has an in-depth statistics to where you can see how your podcast is doing. That's cool, right? I love it. So if you always wanted to start your podcast and make money doing it, please go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters who are already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. My name is Red, and I'm the host of the RH3 Show. I cannot wait to hear your podcast. I need thee, oh, I need thee every hour. I need thee. Oh, bless me now, my Savior. I come to thee. When I think of the goodness of Jesus and all he's done for me, my soul cries out, hallelujah. I thank God for saving me.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
That's from sin to the saint. As winners we can't live by the picture they paint, because they know that all the inner is taint. So we must live out our lives with a sense of restraint. Which means do I live or we ain't? We are controlled by the flesh, we dependent and sway. Because without a twin complaint, if we can
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Rufus, and I am the host of the RH3 Show. Welcome to another great day, another great broadcast. I kind of don't feel right saying that, but it's another great day to be here on air to bless you all with what God has given me to give to you all. And I pray that this broadcast today will be just that. I pray that this broadcast will be a, just like any other, humbling and very delightful, shall I say. I pray that it'll be very humbling and delightful and you all will be blessed by it. Y'all, if you are new to the broadcast, thank you so much for joining us. Wherever you're listening to me from, whatever day you're listening to me on, I thank you all. Today is a special broadcast, but it's all new. It is just like any other, but it's a special broadcast. Let's go ahead and get started. It is time for the Inside Scoop with Rufus segment.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Want the latest news regarding the TV, movies, sports, politics, and music industry? It is time for the Inside Scoop with Red, right here on the RH3 Show.
Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah.
Yes, it is the Inside Scoop with Rufus segment, and this is where I give you all my honest, my unscripted opinion on world and entertainment news, and it all come from a Christian male perspective. And like I said, today is a special day. This part of the broadcast, just go ahead and not really get it out of the way, but get my my thoughts while it's all fresh or whatever. Get it out. And I'm kind of glad that I had an extra day to think on it, because Sunday, I was going to, just pre-record this segment so it all could be fresh. But the way Sunday went down, the way I was feeling on Sunday, no sir. It had brought back fresh wounds. Being that, I'm a very tough person, and being that, outside of being a tough person, I'm very empathetic. I empathize when it comes to feeling, pain for people and feeling, hurt or whatever, whether I know a person or not, and I'll get to that, as well. And you have to be a person, a genuine person, a person with some kind of sense of care to feel emotions or feel, some type of love or empathy for somebody else. When I say that, I mean real and honest, true emotion and empathy. And each of us, I know I can hear y'all in the back of your head. Well, you can't say that I don't have real and true emotions. And I can't. I really can't. But what I will say is this. Deep down inside, folks can know when it's real, true, and genuine. But again, it goes back to only the person who it is only the person who it happens to can say whether they feel that real love or whatever. They can only say that. Outsiders can't. I can't say how you feel for somebody else. I can't say that. Only that person say, well, okay, I feel it. Thank you. I can't say what Johnny Boy is feeling for Susie and her family. I can't say that. That's none of my business. But what I can say is I see that Johnny Boy is feeling, emotions or whatever. Whether he knew them or not. Whether he feeling it or not. With all of that being said, I really, everything was real and raw on Sunday. Where were you? That's the question I would like to ask, and I would like to impose on you all. What were you doing on Sunday when you received the news of, Kobe's passing? Kobe and his daughter. And so whenever I saw it, And I'll say this. I was on my phone, and a lot of people always say, well, Red, every time I see you on your phone, Why? It's because majority of the time I'm doing stuff for other folks, and I really don't have time for myself. And basically that's time for myself. And, whenever I'm here at the house, I'm either cleaning or whatever. And so if you see me on my phone, that's just downtime for me. Everybody else had their own downtime or whatever. But I was on my phone en route. I was leaving church, and I was en route to dinner. I was with my pastor and her another person with us and her granddaughter. And we was en route to dinner afterwards. And so I was on my phone, and I didn't say nothing to nobody in the car, being that in the back of my mind, I was like, you know what? This is one sick joke. Because I kept refreshing. And so I seen where it says TMZ reports that, Kobe died in a plane crash. Oh, here we go again with a celebrity passing away. Here we go again with, people saying this celebrity passed. And then I seen where, this was a report from Saturday night, but my mind being all boggled or whatever, seen where it says how LeBron, commented on Kobe's passing, meaning that, he passed, records or whatever. And it didn't dawn on me then, because I was still stuck on TMZ reporting Kobe passing. And so I goes on Instagram, and I seen a fan-made TMZ page reporting Kobe's passing. I'm like, you know what? And somebody said, somebody that hacked in TMZ, a disgruntled employee. And then I'm like, okay, nothing to it. I goes on Facebook, saw it again. And I commented on the girl page, you know what? Y'all need to stop sharing this stuff. Somebody hacked into TMZ. And so I go back. I left my comment there. I go back a couple minutes later, refresh it, and I see it again. Seeing it again. Then I think I don't know if I seen where ESPN or somebody else. And I forgot which official, well, not official, but well-trusted reporter posted it. And I'm like, oh, no. I go back to the Facebook post, deleted my post. Then I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and believe this. And so I went back to my friend's post and said, you know what? It was hard to believe, and I don't want to believe it. Let me get this out the way as well. Was I a Kobe fan? A fan of the Lakers? No, I was not. A fan of him as a person? Yes, I was. A fan of him, of course we all had our pick and choose, and I always tell people, I hated how, back in the day we had, favorite teams, and now it has branched off to players and instead of the team itself. And so, of course, then my team always, of course, back in the day, Hornets. And, mine, other one, was, fan of the Heat and Cavaliers or whatever. And so, and then, when LeBron came on the scene, of course, fan of, Jordan as always, and a few other greats, legendaries. When LeBron came, big fan of his. Even, and of course I seen, Kobe, and of course Iverson, a big fan of him. But when, the toss up between him or Kobe, it's always been LeBron. And it's still, but I wasn't a fan of Kobe in his work, but I acknowledged that he was a great player. Acknowledged that. Never been a fan of the Lakers, but I always acknowledge him as being a great player. Him as being a great person. Him as being a great dad. Him as being a great, whatever he did for people and for homeless and all of that. And so, to hear of this set aside his skills, this great man passing, and seeing the love of his daughter. I mean, seeing the love that he had for his daughter and his children really hurt. Really hurt. And so, and then, like I said, even back on Sunday, I wanted to do this and, do this while the emotions was fresh. And I said, no, you know what? I can't do that because it is just piercing to me. It hurts. It really hurts. And so, it still does. And it brought me back to, back in September of 2019 when LaShawn Daniels passed. That, I saw myself in LaShawn. I didn't know him, but I knew of him. Not knew of him, but I, of course, throughout the media and throughout music or whatever, and, the type of family man he was and how he loved God, loved his wife, loved his boys and, his children. And, how he loved, helping people and how he loved birthing people's visions and birthing, skills out of people and, all of that. And, what he stood for. And so that broke me. And Whitney's passing broke me. Joan Rivers' passing broke me. Reason being with her is because, even during tough times, that woman made me laugh, like no other. But back on Kobe. I was shocked at the impact that, he had, on myself. I'm not worried about y'all, myself. And so I'm like, okay, you know what, Lord? Help me. Because this is tough. This is tough. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I will say it's tough. And it goes to show that, black men, look, anybody who's listening to this, if you have black men in your life, whether it's your brother, your son, your father, your uncle, your cousin, your neighbor, your friend, your coworker, your boss, whoever, your husband, your boyfriend, fiance, pastor, whoever, love on him. Tell him it's going to be all right. Tell him it's going to be all right, because a lot of us don't get that. A lot of us don't get that. And a lot of us, have a lot on our shoulders when it comes to helping other people and it comes to carrying the weight of other people, or when it comes to, I'm doing this to help, everybody behind me look good. And, and it's a lot of times, and I shared a status, and I'm going to say this, and I'm in closing this tribute. It's a lot of times to where we can sit in our rooms, cars, or whatever, and just shed tears. I was speaking to somebody on yesterday in regards to a situation, and I had to think about it. And once I got off, before I got off the phone, I was almost choked up, but I snapped out of it because I said, you know what, this is not going to break me. It's not. It's not. But you know what? We can't, it's okay to shed tears, fellas. But when it gets to a point of breaking, that means you've let it defeat you. When you get to a point of brokenness, you let it defeat you. You can cry, but cry with faith. You can cry, but cry and know that, okay, it's all right. Like the psalmist said. Let me see if I can find the scripture. Hold on one second. I should know it. Hold on one second. But like the psalmist said in Psalms 30 verse 5, let's see here. But anger is but for a moment, but his favor is for life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. It is okay to cry. It is okay to cry. I don't know why people say you cannot cry. It is okay to cry. Weeping may endure for a night. It is okay to, no matter how long your night is, it is okay to cry. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. It's okay. And that joy, that morning could be, that nighttime could be, for a few seconds. When you finish wiping your face, get up. It's okay. But when you finish crying, you have to get up. Your problems, and I will be the first to tell you, your problems are still going to be there. That crying is not going to wash away. It's just going to make your face dry and probably make your clothes soaked or whatever. But your problem's still going to be there. How? And I hear you. Well, Rufus, Red, how can I solve this problem, or how can I do whatever? Change the situation. Change it. Change it. How can I change it? Learn from it. Pray to God or say, God, okay, you know what? And I heard when somebody say, when you have an expectation of something and you feel hurt by that expectation, that's not being hurt. That's your will being broken and God's will jumping in. Look, when your expectation is broken, that means your will is broken and God's will is injected. So when you expecting something to happen and it don't happen, that's your will happening and God's will. I expected this to happen and it didn't. Okay, I expected, such and such to happen and something good happened. Okay, well, you expected the bad. Your bad was your will, but God turned it around. Come on. Look, you know what? This is a tough time for us all. A tough time for us all. But I will say this. Continue to keep Kobe Bryant's family in prayer. And most certainly continue to keep the other 7 people in prayer, because it was 9 total. Continue to keep them in prayer, especially everybody that was on that plane, but also anybody who could relate. Keep mothers in prayer who has daughters at the age of 13, who has the amount of children that Vanessa and Kobe had, and then had a husband of that age, whatever. She lost a husband and a daughter and now have to raise her other children by herself. Not really by herself, because I know family and most certainly friends and celebrity friends is going to help her, because she's going to need it. 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 She has a new baby, not a brand new baby, but she has a tiny baby. She's going to need it. She's going to need it. And so, I really wasn't going to do this broadcast one today. But I said, you know what? Thank you, Holy Ghost. Like my promo said, each time when I do this broadcast, and each time when you listen to me, I do what I love to do. I do it. I do what I love to do. And so, it really is underrated to leave out that door and coming back home safely. And I will say this, and then I'll move on, take a break, and then I'll continue on, but not on this type of sentimental level. But I lost my train of thought. But I wasn't gonna do this broadcast, but I said, you know what, I have to. I got to. And, love on people. All right? Love on people. And a lot of your family needs it. You may have beefs with people, and a lot of folks saying, well, we can't push under the rug what folks done or whatever. And you can. And I'll be the first person saying you can't. But if it's petty, ask for forgiveness. Tell them you're sorry. Anything that's petty, that's what they mean by tell the people that you love them now. Even if it's not petty, still, be the bigger person and say, I'm sorry, and move on. You don't have to continue with a better relationship, be all lovey-dovey with them. Just move on. And so, throughout the whole broadcast on today, we're not going to have no background music. It's going to be not total silence, but nothing playing in the background, no sound bed. We're just going to roll on. And so, after my exit, my bow on here, moment of silence for Kobe, Gianna, aka Gigi, and the rest of those lovely people, the individual who passed in the plane crash. And we will have more of the RH3 show, today's broadcast. And if y'all don't hear me at the end of the broadcast, I always say this, but I'll say it now. Always remember to live every day, laugh every moment, and to love God and to love yourself, and most certainly love other people beyond words. All right? I'll be back with more of the Inside Scoop with Rufus segment right after this. Let's take a moment of silence, all right? Hi, I'm Rufus, host of the RH3 Show. I've been the host of this great platform for an entire decade. During this decade, I've been blessed to join the platform of radio and podcasting. As I continue to work my gift, I realize that it has been you, my day one family, and also my co-host family, who I call my radio broadcast listeners, who have gotten me to this point. Out of the many years of being in broadcasting as well as journalism, for each level that I reach, and as I continue to climb the ladder of success, it only serves me right to give you better content and also better quality of material. And by doing that, it costs. It costs. We're looking forward to getting new and up-to-date audio equipment, video equipment to revamp the RH3 Show content on YouTube, attend award shows, and etc. So if the RH3 Show have been a blessing to you, which it shows, and we know that you have been a blessing to us, which it shows, please consider sponsorship. I pray that God touches your heart and give you the nod to sow a seed into this broadcast. Even if you haven't listened to the broadcast before and feel led to be a blessing, I thank you in advance. If you will, please begin by sowing a financial seed of any amount. How you can do this, you can visit my website at therh3show.com and click on sponsorship. Whatever you sow, I pray that God will richly bless you and it all come back to you 100-fold. This show has been a blessing to me and has been a release for me. I love what I do, you guys. I love what I do. And as I say on every broadcast, every YouTube video, or whatever I do, know that I love you for real. And always remember to live every day, laugh at every moment, and to love God, to love yourself, and to love other people beyond words. Again, for more about me or the broadcast, and also to become a sponsor and to give financially, you can visit my website at therh3show.com. We are back with the second part of the Inside Scoop with Rufus, the Inside Scoop of the Red segment right here on the RH3 Show. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's broadcast. And so, we back. Thank y'all so much. Sorry, you all had to take a drink. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. But, yes, if you're just not joining us, we had a little, one-on-one emotional, first quarter of the broadcast where we paid tribute to Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, as well as the other, 7 individuals who passed in the tragic plane helicopter crash on Sunday. And so we paid and is continuing to pay homage to them, and so I was going to go deep into this, but I'll just mention it. The MSNBC reporter who did that hiccup on air. What's your thought, Red? I'm not going to go deep into it, but I'll say this. I know what I heard. Let's move on. I know what I heard. Martin Lawrence and Tisha Campbell. I tweeted about this earlier on today, or was it earlier this morning? I think it was earlier this morning. Yes, earlier this morning. And it was in regards to a couple weeks ago. I think Martin was asked about, it was earlier. It was a couple weeks ago. Martin was asked about, the incident with Tisha back in the day, the harassment, this, that, and the third, and what's going on with that, and what is his stance on how everything played out, and the sexual harassment and all of that. And so I didn't hear his response, but it has been reported that he said that she was lying and it wasn't all true, this, that, and the third. And it was going back and forth for the reports, and this said this and this said that. But what had stood out to me, and what I was like, thank you for saying that, was when Tisha was on the talk. I don't listen to the talk for various reasons. Number one, too girly for me. 2, they can be a tad bit hypocritical. That's a different story, and and one day I'll explain that. But they can be a bit hypocritical. Excuse me. And what she said was, she explained it, and I'm glad how she explained it. She explained it with class and integrity, and I'm so glad, because I did not want any beef or whatever. But what she did say was, she heard about it, and she, whatever, and she acknowledged that, yes, her and her co-stars last year before last, few years ago, whatever, got together, and it wasn't all about a reboot. It was about dinner and reuniting with her co-stars and, whatever. And then fast forward until a couple weeks ago, she hear about this, and so, whatever. And so, she really couldn't say nothing about it, because she heard people saying, well, Tisha, is you going to say something? Is you going to clap back? Or whatever, whatever. And so, and so what she did was she called Martin, and she said he immediately answered the phone or whatever and said, what up, Tish, this, that, and the third. And so she, went on into it and gave her thoughts and opinions and said, this is what I heard, yada, yada, yada. And he was like, oh, well, look, don't believe into it, whatever. People was trying to bait him and get him to say stuff, and how people was trying to bring up old dirt, and whatever. And so she was like, okay, whatever, and are we good, this, that, and the third? He was like, yes, we squashed it, we know what's up, that's all that matters. And you know what? That's all I wanted to hear. Why? Because I'm big fans of Martin and Tisha and the whole Martin show clan or whatever. And so I'm glad. I didn't want, because it was good, and it was refreshing to see them, that they came together. It was refreshing to see that Tashina, who played Pam, was like a mediator even throughout the whole years with them. And so, because even Carl Anthony Payne, who played Cole, had a little, allegedly beef with Martin or whatever. And so, I'm kind of glad everything is working out well for them all. But yeah, everything is copacetic. But she did say that she has a what is it called, a gag order where she can't say nothing about it, and she said she's not, and she could say something, but she's not. But I'm kind of glad that's under the rug, and Tisha explained it. I mentioned this on Thursday, but Wendy and Kevin and their divorce, I don't know if I went into deep detail, but she is reportedly to keep a $1 million life insurance policy on herself, and that it would be paid out. I think I did say this, to Hunter should she die. Like I heard somebody say, I would diminish that thing. Look, take out $500,000 one year and $500,000 the next. Her show is renewed to 2022. By 2022, that life insurance policy will either be down to a mere $2, $1, or even $0. No, sir. No, ma'am. Because I see right now, he probably will not give his son or nobody in her family jack. No telling if she have another policy, but nah. But knowing Wendy, she probably will keep it because, like I said, I've been fans with her since 2000, 2001, going on 19, 20 years, between 21 to 19 to 21 years almost. And knowing her, like she said, she's not going to throw away those years with Kevin, not 25 years, I think. She's not. She said, he's not a bad guy, it's just he made bad choices. And he's gonna have to live with that, but she's not gonna be the one to live with him with that. And so she said, one thing that she'll leave him for, he did that one thing, is to have a child outside, and that's what happened. And I don't blame her. Let's move on. Nene Leakes and Wendy, they hashed it out. It's over and done with them. They hashed it out. It's not over and done, but the whatever, she said or whatever, she said, look, they cool. They cool. Quit, leave it alone, people. Leave it alone. The Stellar Awards. Let's run through this really quick and keep it moving. The show, the awards show will be held in Las Vegas on March the 27th. Y'all I need y'all help. I'm trying to get there. TheRh3show.com and click on sponsorship, the sponsorship tab. But category 1, Artist of the Year, Donna Lawrence presents the Tri-City Singers. J.J. Harrison, for, Miracle Worker. Let's see here. Jamestown Music, Kirk Franklin, For Your Soul, Tasha Cobbs Leonard, Heart, Passion, Pursuit, and I think that's it for Artist of the Year. Song of the Year, Big by Michael McClure. That's all of them. Michael McClure, Curtis Glenn, and Rodney Turner. Deliver Me, This Is My Exodus. Donald Lawrence, William Stokes, Marshawn Lewis, and, a few more. Let's see here. Love Theory by Kirk Franklin. For Your Soul. Let me see there. Look. For Your Soul. I can't read how they got this. But anyway, let's look. I'm going to go through some of these that, look, how I copy and paste this, y'all. I can't see how they whatever. But I'm going to try to see if I can find another format, another, how it's linked. But I'm going to just try to iron it out. Category 3, Male Vocals of the Year, see J.J. Harrison, Kirk Franklin, Ty Delaney, William Murphy. I think where the dash is, it's the beginning of another one. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, let's go back to Song of the Year. Big, Michael McClure. That's Pastor Mike. This Is My Exodus, Donald Lawrence. Love Theory, Kirk Franklin. This Is a Move Live by Tasha Cobbs. Okay, there it is. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Thank you for your help. Male Vocalist of the Year, J.J. Harrison, Kirk Franklin, Todd Delaney, and William Murphy. Category 4, Albertina Walker, Female Vocalist of the Year, Jacqueline Carr, Leandria Johnson, Miranda Curtis for I'm All In. I love it. Tasha Cobbs Leonard, Heart, Passion, Pursuit. Yep. But I like Leandria Johnson and, Goshen, as well as Miranda Curtis, I'm All In. Duo Chorus Group of the Year, Fresh Start Worship, Have It All. Kurt Carr and the Kurt Carr Singers, Bless Somebody Else. I love it. Love it. The group Fire, again. The Walls Group, Friend in Me. Okay. New Artist of the Year, Fresh Start Worship. Who else? Gerard and Joyan. What a beautiful name. Somebody's calling the phone. I didn't tell y'all to call me. Kim Person, The Journey. And Pastor Mike Jr., Live Free. Category 7, Album of the Year, Goshen, Donald Lawrence. Miracle Worker, J.J. Harrison. Long Live Love, Kirk Franklin. Heart, Passion, Pursuit, Tasha Cobbs Leonard. Category, wait a minute. 6, 7. I copied this a lot, but I thought it was a whole lot, but it's not. Category album, wait a minute. Choir of the Year, Bishop Paul S. Morton and the Full Gospel Ministry of Worship. A Month of Sundays. Donald Lawrence presents Tri-City Singers, Goshen. J.J. Harrison, Miracle Worker. And John P. Key, I Made It Out. Producer of the Year, Donald Lawrence. Who else? John P. Key, I Made It Out. Tasha Cobbs Leonard. And I think that's it. In category 10, Contemporary Duo Chorus Group of the Year, Fresh Start Worship, Have It All, Gerard and Jovan, What a Beautiful Name, the group Fire, again, and the Walls Group, Friend in Me. Alright, we're going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to come back and give you all a quick health minute, and then we're going to roll on to our Real Talk with Red discussion on today, where we're going to be giving you all a wake-up call for the men and women. What is a wake-up call? That is, y'all, that is something that we got to click and learn how to stop doing, learn how to, focus in on and say, look, some of this stuff society has deemed us as doing, and some of this stuff society has deemed us to stop doing. But this is a wake-up call for us, all right? For you men and for you women, for us men and for you women, all right? Let's go. All right. Thank you, Pastor Jamila, for that. Let's go. Want a free subscription to be a part of our live listening audience? Download one of the major podcast platforms: Google Podcasts, Google Play Music, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, and more. And search The RH3 Show and subscribe. You'll get all new content as well as access to previously aired broadcasts to listen to, download, and to share to your contacts. We'd love for you to be a part of our family. Subscribe today.
The RH3 Show every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 p to 7 p Eastern. For more about the broadcast, please visit therh3show.com.
They gave it a switch. Our lives were in darkness. They came with a switch. So we don't walk like we used to, talk like we used to. Call us for honor and he'll do it for you too. Yeah. I knew I gotta praise him now. Praise him 'cause he called it good.
This segment of the RH3 show provides general information and discussions about health and related subjects. The information and other content provided during this segment or any linked materials on the RH3 show website are not intended and should not be construed as medical advice, nor is the information a substitute for professional medical expertise or treatment. If you or any other person has a medical concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider or seek professional medical treatment. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have heard on the broadcast or read on the RH3 Show website or any linked materials. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. The opinions and views expressed during this broadcast or on any future or past broadcast and on the website have no relation to those of any academic, hospital, health practice, or other institution. All right, you guys, we're going to make this really, really quick because I really want to get into this, the Real Talk with Red discussion. A lot of people do not know how long you stay contagious. This is a time of the year, and this is one year, you guys. We've seen a lot of people whooping and coughing and coughing and whooping. And you see a lot of people like, and you backing away from them. I'm not contagious. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And so here, thanks to WebMD, I seen this in my email. It asked the question, how long am I contagious? So I'm going to give y'all some, some very viruses that, you may have contacted, and you don't know how long you can stay contagious with this. And of course, that disclaimer is on the website. The disclaimer is on, has been played beforehand. And the disclaimer is on the podcast disclaimer, the description or whatever. So here goes. The flu, you're most likely to infect someone else in the 3rd to 4th day after you start to feel sick, but you remain contagious as long as you have symptoms. So if you have symptoms, you contagious. Cold. A cold often starts with a runny nose and sore throat, followed by coughing and sneezing. You are contagious a day or two before this starts and for as long as you feel sick, usually a week or two. It may be longer if you already have breathing problems or a weak immune system. You're more likely to infect others during the first few days when symptoms are at their worst. All right. I had a few others in here, but I'm gonna skip over them. But I'll put this on the website. All right. The conjunctivitis, which is the pink eye, germs, irritations, or allergens can inflame the tissue known as the conjunctiva that lines your inner eyelid and the whites of your eye. Your eye might be red, itchy, or watery. When it's caused by bacteria, your eye may fill with pus. You can spread it to others as long as you notice symptoms or for 24 hours after you start antibiotic drops. The milder form, viral form, is contagious while you have symptoms and for a day or two before. What else? Hand, foot, and mouth disease. This is another common, disease virus. This virus, common in young children, causes a red rash on hands, feet, or bottom. It also may cause a fever, sore throat, pain, blistering sores in the mouth, and you most contagious the first week, but some people can still pass it on for weeks. You can get it from simple cough, sneeze, or contact with spit, open blisters. It's best to keep yourself, your child home if you have hand, foot, or mouth disease. Impetigo. Young children most often get these contagious sores on the face, neck, hands, or butt. It may be unbroken or wet and red or crusty and yellow. Bacteria often get when you cut, scrape, or irritate the skin. You can transfer it to other people who touch the sores. Proper hand washing could help prevent it. Doctors use antibiotics in a pill or ointment to kill the bacteria. MRSA. Skin infection with MRSA, a type of staph bacterial staphylococcus, Arrhenitis could be serious because it doesn't respond to several antibiotics. You may have sores, bumps, or a swollen cut with pus inside. You can give a MRSA infection to someone if they make contact with your infection or anything that touches it. If you have a MRSA infection, complete all treatments and follow your doctor's instructions so it won't spread to others. Chest cold, sometimes called bronchitis. It happens when regular cold symptoms move down to inflame your lungs, which makes you cough. But whether it is a cold, the flu, or some other virus, the rule of thumb is the same. You are contagious for as long as you have symptoms, and maybe a little bit longer. To stop the spread, keep your hands clean at all times and cover your mouth when you sneeze or cough. Chickenpox. The viral rash causes a fever or sore throat and telltale itchy spots all over your body. A new vaccine means most kids don't get it anymore. But if yours do, it's very contagious. Keep them home until all sore crusts are over. What else? Poison ivy, like its cousin poison oak and poison sumac, its leaves, it has an oily sap, urushiol, that can make your skin red, swollen, and itchy until you wash it. Wash it off with soap and water. You can pass the oil to someone who touches it or to other parts of your body. Cool showers, calamine lotion can help relieve the itch. That should be gone in a week or two. All right? That's it for your health minute for this week, and I'll be back in a minute for the Real Talk with Red discussion. All right? Be back. Want to connect with me and go beyond the broadcast? Do so by following me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The RH3 Show. You can also watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/I Rep a Savior. That's youtube.com/I REPASAVIOR. Follow me on social media. Hi, it's The RH3 Show. Connect.
The RH3 Show every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 p to 7 p Eastern. For more about the broadcast, please visit therh3show.com.
We've been given a new life. We're living into Christ and our sins are gone. Thank God that He the need to make us.
What I just told you, that's how I felt. That's how I felt. If I wanted to say that, I would have wrote it. I said what I said. You don't like it, you don't like it.
It's the Real Talk with Red segment right here on the RH3 Show. All right, you guys, it's the Real Talk with Red discussion, and this is where I give you my honest, my unscripted opinion on real-life topics and grown folks discussion. And so we're going to ride this thing out. No more breaks. We're going to close out after this, this discussion. We got 10 minutes left of the broadcast, so let's get it, all right? Like I told y'all at the end of the last segment, we're talking about the wake-up call. What is the wake-up call? It's a lot of things that we got to snap out of as men, as women, stuff that we're doing, stuff that we're not doing, stuff that we need to do, in regards to relationships, life, period. And I saw this meme on Instagram, and I'm like, okay, this needs to be discussed. This needs to be talked about, because stuff that we gotta stop talking and stop doing. Let's get it in. So it's a wake up call for for us men and for the fellas and for the ladies. Ladies, you need to be waking up and tell him if you like him or not. I cannot. One of my things is, hold on, let me take a swig of drink. Sorry. One thing that I don't like is when a lot of people ask ladies, if you see a man, will you, make the first move, or will you tell him that you like him? No, because if he don't like me, I'm moving on. Well, hey, so fine be it. Bye. That's you missing out on a good man. What if he don't notice you first? You still going to sit there until he see you? What if he don't find you interested, but you find him until he see you, or until he see how eloquent or elegant you speak or whatever? What about that? What is you going to do then? Nothing, because you're gonna miss out. Tell him if you like him. Say, look, hey, I seen, to where this one couple gave a testimony on Facebook to where she jumped in his his inbox and said, "Oh, I know where I seen you at. You look like my future husband." And he was like, "Oh, please don't play with me like that, because I find you very interesting. All right, let's do this then, And so they exchanged numbers, and voila, I think they married now with children. So, ladies, wake up. Tell him if you like him or not. Number 2, stop being bitter from the past. That does not need no explanation. 3, another one that don't need no explanation. Stop falling for looks and money. Another, a Facebook and social media and internet can teach you a lot of stuff. And of course, some of it is fact and some of it is fiction. But a lot of stuff can teach you, like, okay, it's common sense, but, hey, stop falling for looks and money. And I seen where something said that, until you learn, imagine us going out and you realizing I'm somebody that we start vibing, and I'm somebody that you haven't been with or something like that, and boom, we together. Look, stop falling for looks and money, and go with somebody who's treating you well, instead of somebody who's knocking you upside your head every once in a while. Just because he look good and just because he got money, he probably knocking you upside your head every once in a while. Quit it. Or, he must be, probably look good and got money and just, screwing Susie next door or being a whore dog or whatever. Quit. Real Talk with Rufus, Real Talk with Red, all coming from a Christian male perspective. If you don't like it, follow somebody else. If you don't like it, listen to somebody else. Just real, raw, straight to the point. And I'm giving to you straight, no chase. And hey, it is what it is. If you don't like it, hey, knuck if you buck. I'm not promoting violence, but if you don't like it, so fine be it. Click it and let's go. All right? Click it and let's go. Be out. If you don't, hey, this platform is for real people, for my age gap, for people a little bit younger than me and people way older than me. It's time out for sugarcoating stuff. Let's be real with people. Stop falling for looks and money, ladies. Let's move on, fellas. I'm getting to us in a minute. Understand your value, and this falls on men too. You gotta first, ladies, you gotta know. You cannot put that on somebody else, but I can understand how you can. Explain that to me, Red. Okay. You got to know in yourself that you're beautiful. You got to know in yourself that you're valuable. But I can understand where that lesser value, that thought of a lesser value comes from. Some people putting that into you. Some people saying that you're less or whatever. Men, you got to stop telling these women that they no good and they this or that, and vice versa, ladies. You can't. And I need to hurry up. Gosh, I wish I had extra time for this. But fellas, you gotta stop, downing women with that. You gotta stop it. Because some ladies is sitting around crying because of you telling her this and you telling her that and you telling her this and you going out doing that and she thinking that she's not good enough. Stop. Let's move on. Ladies, set your standards high. Set your standards high. You can what's the phrase? You can compromise, but don't lower your standards. Ladies, close your mouth and listen sometimes. Don't be naive. Motivate others to do the same as what I just said. Alright? Fellas, as y'all can hear, hear me just as clear as you can. Stop being full of pride. It's okay to let it go and know that you can be in the wrong. It's okay to let it go and know that other fellas got more than you. It's okay to let it go and know that other men can be inspiring too. It's okay to let it go and know that another man got more than you. It's okay to let it go and know that other fellas got less than you. I'm trying to start a round table here in my city, or round table, whatever, phone conversation with a few men that I know, and they also said to know that you are somebody great is know that you have some areas and some weakness that other men can be can bring a positive to. All of these men that I'm, inviting to this roundtable, that we can have a one-on-one discussion, a roundtable discussion on, black men and, fatherhood and stuff that we need to discuss as black men, is each man that I, had, picked out and, asked, could you want to be a part of it, has something that I'm lacking as myself. It's 12 of us. So the 11 other men has 11 things that I need as myself. Whatever. Number 2, fellas, wake up. Keep your sex life confidential. Quit telling everybody whose panties you got into. Quit it. That's none of nobody's business. I tell you what, I've been single for 4 years, but I will tell you this: I have, talked and date, tried to, inquire, try to, rap to a few others. They will never know, won't nobody know who they were, and even whenever I did date, a lot of folks don't even, they think I'm just so single and lonely. As y'all can hear the music going on, let me move on. Number 3, stop flexing like you got it all. Oh, y'all, I'm gonna have to talk about this even more in depth. Maybe Thursday, alright? Learn how to respect women, of course, most certainly. Like I just said, I'm gonna run through this, but I'm gonna probably tackle this on Thursday, so be with me. Tackle this on the next episode. Show your girl off and be faithful. Ooh, pick up the Bible and read and teach your brother the same. Y'all, I'm going to have to go into this on Thursday, so go to part 2 with me. Y'all know that I love you for real. And look, always remember to live every day, laugh every moment, and to love God, love yourself, and love other people beyond words. For more about me, your boy Red and the RH3 Show, visit my website at therh3show.com. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
I know I gotta raise it now, switch, go ahead, 'cause I know I gotta give it up. If anybody wanna tell me, raise it up.
Party people. See you later.
I'm saying bye-bye.
Good night.